Good morning. So we're getting started with a brand new lesson on tables and histograms. So we're going to title this 8-4, Display Data in Frequency Tables and Histograms. So we're taking data and we're displaying it on these different visuals. So set up your page. If you need time, take a pause because we're going to get started on our definitions. So our first definition is a frequency table. A frequency table shows the number of times a value occurs in each category or interval. So we're going to go ahead and write down some data first because that's what you need first. So let's say Coach Hernandez is timing several students for a 2-mile run. Here are what Coach Hernandez wrote. I have some students who did it in 16 minutes 40 seconds. I see another one 15 minutes and 12 seconds, and so on. Hopefully you understand this so far. Now, this is not the frequency table. This is our data. So we're going to take this data and we're going to turn it into a frequency table. So we're going to have our running times, our tally marks, and the frequency. Now, my running times are going to be written between a specific amount of time. So my first time set is going to be 14 minutes to 15 minutes 59 seconds, 16 minutes to 17:59, 18 to 19:59. Now I'm going to go ahead and count how many is in each section. So for 14 minutes to 15:59, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4. So I'm going to tally up 4. Now I'm going to do the same ones for the next one. For over 16 minutes and under 17:59, I have 6. I'm going to change my color here, I think. A different shade of red. And for 18 minutes to 19 minutes 59 seconds, I have 2. So our frequency there is the number of tally marks that we have. So we're going to go ahead and write the definition of a histogram because using this table, we're going to build our own histogram. So a histogram is a graph that uses bars to show the number of values in each category or interval. In this case, it's intervals. We have running time intervals. So follow along as I start drawing this histogram. I start by labeling it. Our title is Team Times. My intervals are going to go here down at the bottom. So 14 minutes to 15:59, 16 to 17:59, 18 to 19:59. And these are my minutes. So I'm going to title this down here, minutes. And on my left, I'm going to go from 0 all the way up. And this is the number of runners that Coach Hernandez took times on, right? So I'm going to go up to 7 here, and I'm going to start drawing my histogram, my bars. So I'm going to start off here. I have 4 people, or the frequency of 4, which means that my bar is going to go up to 4. So I'm going to pick a color, and I'm going to shade in up to 4 here. Now for 16 to 17:59, we have 6. So I'm going to draw my bar up to 6 here. It didn't come out right. Let me try that again. Okay, here we go. And I need to make sure my bars are touching. Okay, my bars touch. Bars touch on histograms. That's something to remember. We'll write that down here in a minute. And then 18 to 19:59, I'm going to have to change my color here. There's 2 runners that ran that fast. And I shade that in. Now again, histograms always touch. Okay, the bars always touch. So we're going to start a new page. Or if you have space, you can definitely keep the same page that you have. But we're going to go ahead and use a frequency table to solve problems. Okay, so we're going to start by building our frequency table. On the left, we're going to have number of calls. Middle is going to be our tallies, and the last one is going to be the frequency, so the amount of tallies. We have 0 to 19 calls, 20 to 39 calls, 40 to 59 calls, 60 to 79 calls, and 80 to 99 calls. Now, the amount of people that received 18 to 19 calls was 5, 20 to 39 was 4, 40 to 59 calls was 10, 60 to 79 calls was 11, and 80 to 99 calls, we had 8 people receiving that amount of calls. So I'm going to throw you a quick problem. Let's say Jordan surveyed a group of old people, and he decided to ask them how many calls they had received only yesterday. And he built this table here, this frequency table. It shows all of our results. We're going to take that and we are going to answer a couple of questions. These are sample questions that you might come across within the book. First question, what is the greatest number of calls sent between 60 and 79? So we're going to take a look at our table. You can take a pause and see what your answer would be. It would be 2. Oh no, I'm sorry. It'd be 11. Sorry, I thought those were tallies. But it would be 11 calls. So you would say something in the words of, the greatest frequency is 11. Let's try another question. What is the lowest number of calls sent between 20 to 39? You're going to look at 20 to 39, and it says 4. So you're going to write the lowest frequency is 4. I would also like to add to our answer that the greatest amount of calls was 80 to 90 calls that day. And the lowest amount of calls in our table is 0 to 19 calls. Hopefully that makes sense, right? I'm pointing it out here on the frequency table, what the difference is between both of those answers. Lastly, we're going to use a histogram to solve problems. So this is a different example, and we're going to start off with a labeled histogram. On the bottom, I have number of points, and on the top, I have number of games. We're going to say soccer games. I'm going to label here 0 to 7, and then we have the frequency of, or the intervals, 0 to 4 points, 5 to 9, 10 to 14, 15 to 19, 20 to 24. I'm going to go ahead and draw my bars here. Notice that the middle one isn't touching there. That just simply means that there is 0. Okay, that's the only reason why my bars are not touching there. All right, and I'll shade that in. So let's go ahead and write down our problem. Again, this is just an example that might sound similar like your book. How many games did Jaden play last season? We're going to have to count. Red, there was 3. Purple, there was 6. Blue, there was 2. And pink, there was 1. That's a total of 12. You'd have to add those up, right? So you'd add all those numbers together. Hopefully you can see that, where I got 12 from. Now our next question. In how many games did Jaden score 5 to 9 points? We look at the 5 to 9 there isn't any, so Jaden did not score 5 to 9 points in any games.